Back here in El Paso, Titans putting on a show in front of their home crowd here tonight, 40-0 ahead of Eureka. And despite the scoreboard, Caden, we still look across the way. There's a lot of Eureka fans still here, so props to them for not leaving early.
I mean, we saw how full that those stands were when the game started. That might be more full than it was at kickoff, John. There's a great following for this program. They have a lot of belief, and they know what their boys are capable of.
Well, then maybe they're huddling up a little bit. It's getting a little bit cold right here, trying to maybe get that body heat over there again. It is starting to feel like football season finally after a very hot first few weeks of the season. Flag is down. And ball carrier there for the Titans was Elliott Toth. First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, he had the third most rushes and third most yards, but Owen Adams, the quarterback, had the most. So second from the running back room. It is Owen Bergquist now in as the signal caller for the Titans.
Well, how about this? Again, Bergquist, for those of you that maybe don't know, Bergquist was the starter for El-Paso Gridley as a sophomore. Got essentially, Tanner Benedict said, benched for Owen Adams midway through last year. Adams became the starting quarterback. And then, Bergquist, though, didn't put his head down and said, hey, I'm going to still find a way to help out my team. So, obviously, he's their kicker. He's a wide receiver, caught a touchdown pass tonight. He plays running back. He plays defensive back. I mean, he does, again, just about everything for EPG. So, it's just great to see that he is still able to make an impact on the field. He's not putting his head down, which some players could have done in that situation.
And even there, he sold the fake run, 40-0
he still got
to try and help out his team. First touchdown pass tonight. We talked to Coach Benedict about it. He actually brought up Owen Bergquist, and he was the one who was given more hats off than I think anybody else would have about how he was a kid who never once has complained, never once has put the head down, has always said, Coach, what do you need next?
That's the type of really coachable player that you want if you're Tanner Benedict. Here's a handoff. Here's Elliott Toth breaking it free across the 45. Toth across midfield. Takes the man over at the 45. Gain of about 22 on that one for the sophomore.
How about a 20-plus yard run for Elliott Toth? I mean, come off the bench as a sophomore, 5'6", 150. Make your own name known in this game. Make sure Coach Benedict remembers what you've done tonight as top of everything else. And
I got Toth, the sophomore, Adams, the junior. I'm just looking at these starters, Caden. Not a single senior.
Owen Bergquist.
Yeah, Bergquist, yes, a starter. But you look at their four wide receivers, their running back Aiden Adams, their offensive line,
yeah. Juniors
all sophomores and juniors.
You never see sophomores and juniors across all 5 offensive line starters.
That's unbelievable. As here's a run, pickup of a few there. Tom Irwin, the ball carrier there for the Titans. And Caden, I mean, you look at especially in small school football, right? Rosters are a bit smaller, guys that usually flourish are the seniors that have spent 3 years in the weight room. They've gotten big, they've gotten strong. You don't really see sophomores and juniors stand out as much at the Class 2A small school level. But, I mean, EPG, they are really the unicorn of these top 10 teams in Class 2A because I guarantee, without looking at their rosters, all of them have at least some seniors that they start on offense.
Yeah, with these rosters that we were provided, both teams had 66 players on it. There is nowhere near 66 healthy players on that Eureka sideline, and they have to fill those gaps with those sophomores, those juniors. But on the other side of the coin, the depth of those sophomores and juniors have pushed the better competition and pushed better play from everyone on the Titans team. And a 6-0 Titans squad, 2 point out for the zillionth time.
And they're one of few undefeated teams left. El Paso Gridley, Bloomington Central Catholic, Farmington. Dunlap obviously faced off Washington tonight. Here's a carry there from Elliott Toth. Got the proper pronunciation there from the PA announcer. So again, Toth came in tonight, 16 rushes, 116 yards, and 1 touchdown. Pretty efficient, 7.3 yards per carry.
Yeah, and even Toth there, he had 3. It took the third guy to actually stop him. He continued to churn those legs, brush the defenders off. Again, he is trying to prove as a sophomore why he is special and what makes him a valued member of this backfield unit. Again, on paper, the number 2 guy behind Adams. We've also seen.
Here's Toth, and he gets drilled there on a big tackle.
Tackle on the play by number 58, Tyler Billings.
That was Tyler Billings for Eureka. So a lot of backups in this game now for both teams. Again, glad you're still with us here on CIProud.com. It's been all EPG since the start. They took a 13-0 lead early in the first quarter, but no matter where you're tuned in tonight, whether it's El Paso or Gridley, Eureka, Goodfield, maybe even Bermuda, for example. Glad you're with us here tonight on CIProud.com. Makes me think of that one song Kate did, Bermuda, Jamaica. Ooh, that was one of the catchiest songs of all time, in my opinion. Here's a short run, and nice job swarming to the ball carrier there by Eureka, something that they really emphasize each and every year, and obviously very fitting since they are the Hornets.
Yeah, great play on words there, intentional or not. As I was saying a moment ago, Nolan Whitman, he got the whole third quarter in the backfield. Now we're seeing Elliot Toth getting this fourth quarter. Adams, of course, the starter, had a whole first half of success. He's had his helmet on that sideline, but he's going to sit back, watch some friends get out there and get some yards.
Yeah, his depth for EPG is pretty strong. Again, there's some injuries for sure. See a couple guys in street clothes right now, but
crutches.
Yeah, and crutches as well, but overall, the main guys still healthy for the Titans. Here's a big run for EPG. Down the sideline, it's Toth inside the 5. Toth trying to will his way into the end zone. He is just short, right at the 1. Gained about 28 on that play.
Yeah. Top to bottom, that was a great play by Elliot Toth, the sophomore. He was looking like he was just going to get shoved out of bounds, and instead he fully stopped. That's not something that you or I could do, John. He completely halted his body and cut left and was able to get all the way to the 1, it looks like, before being stopped. Again, a play that not many can do, and that's the backup running back, third in the game so far for El Paso Gridley. They're going to let this. They're just going to be calm. Owen Berquist running to the sideline back and forth. They're not really going with their no huddle anymore. They're taking the clock down, something that Eureka did in that first half.
And they tried to really stall the clock a little bit, but EPG still just too quick for every team so far. Now the ball's on the ground. Toth fumbled it, but it looks like he might have recovered it back there at the 5.
Yeah, it'll be a loss of 4, but, Berquist and Toth, that's not a combination that's handing the ball off to each other as much in practice, and so there's going to be those hiccups. That just comes with learning each other and consistent reps, something they haven't really needed to rely on.
Yes, here we're inside of 5 minutes now. EPG looking to add one more here on the scoreboard tonight. And it hasn't been their season high just quite yet. They scored 52 back in week 4 against Gibson City Melvin Sibley, a team that was state ranked at the time and is still state ranked as Berquist gets lit up by Grant Hetz.
I mean,
big play there.
Hetz came off the edge there like a strike of lightning. I mean, geez, Berquist lose a little bit of a low snap, but no, even if that was the perfect pistol into his chest, there was no way that he wasn't going to have to change his game plan because of how quick Hertz got to him.
They'll bring up third down. Again, Grant Hetz, a senior defensive back and also a wide receiver, rather, for Eureka. Has got 21 tackles on a pick coming into tonight. So it'll be 3rd and goal here for Berquist and company. Toth in the backfield. He's got a wide receiver that's landing feet at the top of his screen. Wide receiver Andrick Shippert at the bottom. Here's a handoff and a little bit of a spinorama They're from Colpetta, another sophomore, just 5'2", 110.
Yeah,
little guy out there getting the carry.
And Petta on the roster, a QB and defensive back that time, getting the motion and around. However, the Hornets snuffed it out.
Don't forget, 4th down again. EPG rather, just kind of running out some clock. It's going to be a tough one to swallow for the Hornets tonight, Caden. Again, they came in tonight, wonder, hey, could we shock the area? Can we pull off the upset? At least maybe make it close, give ourselves a chance, stay playoff eligible. Well, that's not the case tonight, but again, it's, Jason Bachman agreed. Football is more than about wins and losses. It's about life lessons, and sometimes you learn more from, a lot of times actually, you learn more from the losses than you do the wins. So I think it'll sting tonight, but it will do them better in the future. Bergquist was looking for Shippert and incomplete, so they'll turn it over there on downs. Let's take a look again at the upcoming schedules for both teams, Caden, where they go from here. EPG takes on a winless Clinton team on the road next week. If this week is any indication, it should be a big win, I think many would assume. Then they close out back here against Shelbyville, week 9. And that's a good Shelbyville team as well. And as for Eureka, they take on Tremont, new head coach Joe Hageman next week, and then close out again at Tri-Valley.
Minute 15 on the clock here remaining. Motion with Hoffman.
He's still in the game. Big hit laid there by the EPG defense. And EPG will move to 7-0 on the year. Colpetta there and on the tackle. So Caden, probably about one more play, and that will about do things here from El-Paso. Beautiful night for football. Again, it's great we go to so many of these larger schools, Metamora, Washington, Peoria High, Bloomington. Sometimes we don't really get to experience each Friday night what small school football is like, and I had a great time out here in El Paso, meeting a lot of great people and seeing some good teams. As here's a pass, goes out of bounds. The pass was caught there by Bunting. His first receptions of the night comes in the final minute.
Yeah, first time getting to call his name, but he's averaging 18 a year. That was a 12-yard gain for him.
Up across 200 now for the season. And this will wrap things up here from El Paso. We'll break things down briefly after the game. And a bobbled snap. Klaus just going to take it and get tackled there by Elliott Toth, and that is how this one ends. EPG flexes its muscles here at home in week 7, and they continue their warpath to the playoffs in a 40-0 win over the Eureka Hornets. We'll take a quick break and break things down, wrap things up here right after this on CIProud.com.
Mornings can be crazy. We get that.
Boy, are they. But don't worry, we've got your back.
Breaking news, we've got you covered.
The stories everyone is talking about will keep you in the know.
Sunshine or storms in the forecast will help you plan your day.
Sheridan Hertig, Renee Skinner, and meteorologist Nathan Kitchens.
And we'll do it by making you smile.
Because how you start your day matters.
WMBD This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 7. Central Illinois proud.
Welcome back to El Paso. Big win tonight for the purple and black. Jonathan Michael, again, Caden Sexton here in the booth with you tonight. Again, glad you stuck with us here on CIProud.com. And Caden, overall, is a big win for EPG. They really did all facets of the game. They got big plays on offense, got some turnovers on defense, made some nice plays on special teams defensively as well. What was most impressive for you tonight?
You know, I think it was just the ability to, for the defense to be able to just snuff out Eureka's run game. Eureka had 200-plus rushing yards last week. They averaged just shy of 170 rushing yards each week, and tonight the run game was very quiet. Lincoln Knapp not able to move those legs at all, and it was because of those linebackers and also because of the rotating door of defensive linemen who were continuously able to shut things down, as there's a whole group huddle here now.
They're going to huddle up there for post-game prayer. Good show of sportsmanship from both teams. Two very high-class programs, for sure. Had a great time getting to meet them earlier this week. And again, best wishes to all of them for the rest of the regular season. Might see El-Paso Gridley in the playoffs even, who knows. But again, Caden, talked about 40 points. That's sort of a lot of people's eyes are drawn to at first, but putting up a goose egg on the defensive end is also going to result in some pretty happy faces as well.
Exactly, John. I mean, that's what I was just talking about. You know, you're going to take away a 40-0 win with all those points coming in the first 3 quarters and say, our offense came and played and did great work. How about those defensive turnovers, the defensive run stop, just consistency, consistency, consistency. You're never going to complain.
And EPG, it's a fast team, it's a dangerous team, and one that you will probably not want to face if you're in opposition the rest of the way out here this year. Real quick scoring recap for you tonight. Again, Owen Bergquist had 2 touchdowns. He got a 6-yard pass from Owen Adams. That was Adams' 20th of the season. Again, he's the only EPG quarterback in program history to throw for 20 touchdowns in a season. He also added a 5-yard rush just minutes later. Then Aiden Adams, a 70-yard touchdown run. That really, I think, was a big turning point in the game, and that's when they kind of started to blow the doors open a little bit. Then Shavon Maxson, 42-yard touchdown catch just before halftime. Braden Gibson, again, his 5th fumble recovery for a touchdown of the season, Caden. I don't know if that is a record that will ever be beat by anywhere around here, much less an EPG. And again, they wrapped it up to 4-yard pass from Javion Maxson to close things out as well. That will about do it for all of our Clutch Sports media crew here tonight, bringing you tonight's game on CIProud.com. I want to shout out all of our staff members tonight. Christian Courtney, Aubrey Degnan behind the camera, Nicholas Giuseppe also here behind the scenes, our director Gabe Haloka, Micah Rabin also our producer, and my color commentator Caden Sexton. I am Jonathan Michael saying so long and good night from El Paso. Again, stay tuned to our social media channels, Clutch Sports Media on Facebook and Instagram, Clutch Sports IL on Twitter. Stay tuned to where we'll be next week for our WMBT Game of the Week. High school football still rolling on here in Central Illinois. So one more time, EPG 40, Eureka 0. Titans stay unbeaten.